Hi guys, today we're going to talk about the mechanics of punching and just ways of moving more efficiently when we're delivering a punch, and in exchange you'll become faster and have more power. This will instantly make your punches a little bit more effective. First we're going to start off with the jab. So when we're talking about the jab, of the two hands that I could possibly hit with in, let's say, a boxing scenario, you would think of your jab as being more like the machine gun. It's just constant. It's always out. You can't see it. It's non-telegraphic. When he's not moving, jab him. When he's doing nothing, jab him. When you're not sure, throw a jab. You should think of your fist on the jab as the bullet leaving the barrel. So it's really that you're throwing your fist, not so much that you're pushing your whole arm forward. And what I mean by that is instead of activating all the muscles at once and delivering in a very two-dimensional, stiff kind of way, you want to be throwing the fist by just firing off certain muscle groups but releasing them, so it should be delivered in a more relaxed way. A way to practice this is to think about an infinity symbol in the air, and your arm's just going to kind of do that. And it looks a little bit crazy at first, especially when you're doing it slow, but the difference when you're doing it fast will change everything. It'll also preserve energy, so you'll be able to throw more of them if you're ever in a boxing kind of scenario where you got to throw hundreds of jabs in a fight. You don't want to engage every single muscle when you're throwing every single one of them. You're just going to build lactic acids and tire your arm out. So what you want to do is deliver in a more relaxed kind of way, and of course it becomes completely non-telegraphic. He won't be able to see it coming. You can shoot it from high, you can shoot it from low. It'll just be relaxed, it'll slip under the radar, it'll get in almost every time. So your accuracy should go up, it should be delivered faster this way, and it should arrive and hit harder. So just to show again, slowly in the air, it should start at the shoulder, but as soon as the arm starts to go, as soon as you feel like your elbow's starting to go, this should disengage, should be relaxed again. Then your elbow will kind of carry it, and then at the very end, you'll just arrive with the fist. So it just kind of looks like that. Like I'm throwing it out, and then, so practice it a few times slow, then practice it fast just in the air. Try not to ever lock out your elbow. You can blow out your joint. Do it nice and slow, then do a little bit faster, and then find targets. I recommend hitting a heavy bag just to make sure you have good wrist stability. And then if you have anybody you can train with focus mitts, that's very good too. And of course you'll have to pressure test it in boxing or sparring, or just find a partner that doesn't mind if you punch him in the face a few hundred times. Okay guys, so when we're talking about the jab being like your machine gun that's just constantly firing, you want to think of your backhand, which would be the cross on your power side, which is the side that's further away, so it's behind the jab. You want to think of that being like your sniper rifle. So while this is constantly shooting out, keeping them busy, this is always waiting for a big power shot. You want to line it up, and you want to only throw it when it's when there's a good shot. It's much more deadly, much more power because it's coming from behind. There's more travel time, which means you can generate more power on the way, and you can throw your whole body, you can transfer the weight all the way into it. And of course you can step into it and you have your whole body to twist into the motion. So, much like the jab, you don't want that to be a one-dimensional movement. It's very telegraphic, it's very slow, and when it finally arrives, it won't have all the power that it could potentially generate. So, same as with the jab, you want to kind of picture the figure eight analogy or infinity symbol. You want to almost do it on, you want to over-exaggerate the movement at first. Your hand, elbow, and shoulder should be drawing a symbol in the air, and just keep it circular. Of course now, like when you're fighting, you're excited, you're full of adrenaline, that motion will narrow down and become smaller, but you just don't want to be too stiff with your punch. If you look at all the great boxers over history, they always have a very loose jab and a very loose cross. So it's almost like you want to twist it and turn down. The good thing with this too that I like a lot is that there's always something by my face. So when my hand leaves my face, my arm creates a ramp where I can still cover this side with my shoulder, and then by rolling it back, it's very easy for me to come back and protect. It's very safe. Why I have the spare hand on this side of my face, this can come back protect right away. So so I have my jab and then my cross. Okay guys, so now we'll be talking about some hooks. So if your jab is the machine gun and your cross or your straight is your sniper rifle, then you can kind of think of the hooks as grenades. So there are two functions for the grenade. One is to blow somebody up, and that's kind of what you want out of the hooks. Big power shot, one of those to the head will usually put somebody down. At the very least, it'll rock them pretty badly. The second thing it can do, grenade can send. You can throw a grenade and send everybody running in a specific direction, and so that's what you can kind of use your hooks for as well. You want them right here, right in front of you. You want them right in the pocket, right in your line of fire, within arm's reach. A good boxer or a good fighter will either be too far away for you to hit, but if they go back in a straight line, you can easily chase with a straight blast, which we'll get into in a later video. Or an experienced fighter will start to circle. Usually circle out your lead side, will circle outside your jab, and in a few occasions they might circle around here. So what we're going to do there is to defend the perimeter and keep them in the pocket, is you're going to funnel them back in with hooks. Again, that's the secondary function, the first one being just damage. When I teach this, I always teach many different variations, and it's not a trick question where they're supposed to come to the same answer all together. It's going to be different for everyone, and I just encourage everyone to try it differently. So a traditional, more boxing style hook, you'll have your thumb up toward the ceiling, you'll kind of lock the arm, and then just from shooting out the shoulder, a rotation here, and a twist in the hips, you'll arrive flush here. Just on the side. It's even better with a boxing glove because the front of your hand would also be covered in dry mat, so a lot of times they can afford to hit and make contact with here, they can make contact with here. Personally, it's not my favorite, but it is a devastating hook, and if you ever fight a good boxer and you bite a shot like that, you'll know right away that there's a lot of power there. I prefer the more Russian style of boxing. And it's very similar to the jab and the cross that we did earlier. So it's fired from the shoulder, and it's led by the elbow and then extended. Same idea here. There's going to be a chain reaction of contractions. So my arm should be loose the whole time, and I'm hitting from the outside in.